Hello and welcome to the G27 Road Warrior with me, Movie Scouts 007, where we play Euro Truck Simulator 2. So, this is the first journey after what can only be described as the disaster of Stockholm, where we fell through the road, not once, but twice. An absolute catastrophe meant that we earned no money and no XP from the last journey. Just to remind you, we're in Gävle in Sweden. We drove through Stockholm and that was our big problem. Right, so what we're going to do, we obviously, I'll just double check where we are rest-wise. It's a bit sad that we have to do this. We can't see that from the dashboard, how tired we are. But we're not tired, and we've rested. Okay, let me just double check, see if I can rest one more time. But no, I'm not tired. Right, okay. So, we've done our resting. Let's go to the job market. Let's get ourselves some work. So we've fixed, because we had to be, just to get to the destination. So, Tambov in... oh, blimmin' heck. That's quite a journey. Or Grimsby in the UK. Leipzig in Germany. Moscow in Russia. What else have we got? Gdansk in Poland. Aalborg in Denmark. Klaipėda in Lithuania and Riga in Latvia. But Grimsby, have we been to Grimsby? Have we actually been to Grimsby? I don't know. Let's click on Tambov and let's see. Where the hell's Grimsby? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Right. I'm confused. Where the hell should I go? Should I go to Tambov in Russia, or should I go to Grimsby in the United Kingdom? Because it would be another... UK. Or should I go to Leipzig? Grimsby or Tambov? Tambov is more money, but marginally. And distance. So let's just go to Tambov. We haven't been to Russia. Let's see what this brings us. So, there's a big pole right there that I could have driven through. Right, so. Oh dear. Alright, we don't need any petrol, so we can avoid that. Alright, so we're going right. So that's our 5 berth garage in Gävle. We did that off camera because I don't want to upset anyone. Oh, hello. And do you know what? It could be tedious. If you're not interested in seeing all that, I can understand how that can be tedious, right? So we're left here. I think Norse can. You know, I didn't even look at what the load was. So that's God, this is so silly. So we're taking truck batteries, 18 tons of truck I'll put my my teeth in. 18 tons of truck batteries to Norsken in Gävle, to Tambov in Russia, to LKW. So we're going to take that job. Right, so let's... There we go, right. Coupling that up. Right, we're ready to go. Alright, Norsken, bye-bye. Gävle, goodbye. We're straight into it. Hi, Jeff. Alright. Let's wait for this green car to go, and then we're good to go. The nice thing is, I think we avoid Stockholm. Or do we actually? Do we avoid Stockholm? We will not actually avoid Stockholm. There is a patch, there's a hotfix to get rid of the problems with that road in Stockholm. It's a known issue. Oh, a bit of water to lubricate my throat. So, yes. It's Monday where I am, first day of the week, and some money already. So we've got quite a little empire going on. You'll notice we're earning money right hand over fist, and that's the point. Now, obviously, it looks like we're earning more money than we need, but you'll find that it gets spent quite quickly. As soon as I've clicked, as soon as I've turned off the recording, obviously I go round and I collect the garage, and I'll buy trucks, and I'll recruit drivers, and I'll make the garage, take the garage from 3 to 5 berths. And in that way I can put 5 trucks, 5 drivers in each garage. I've got the garage, which means I can fast travel to it, so later on, if I want to, if I need to, sorry, to collect those little bits of road, because that's how anal I am, I can then go back. There's going to be a point at which, hopefully, there's going to be a point at which they're going to run out of places to add. Not because I don't want a complete map, but simply because there's a certain point at which it doesn't make any sense to start adding towns, because then you end up having I mean, because the map is because the scale of the map. Oh no, I was going to say I thought that was a police officer. I don't know why I'm worried about slowing down for fines. Because of the scaling of the map, the more you put in, the less realistic it is, because you're happening upon towns every 5 minutes, and that's not, that's not how long haul works. It's not how the real world works. There'll be places. Yep, there's my first speeding fine. There'll be places where there are clusters of towns. In the UK, famously, there are 3 major cities in the northeast. Middlesbrough, Newcastle and Sunderland are all sort of within spitting distance, shall we say, of one another. That's an English expression. Within spitting distance of one another. Alright, we are not turning left, so I'm just gonna, just in case the road splits off, I don't want to be splitting off with it. It probably doesn't, but I'm going to slow down because take him because I'll get another. I don't know why I care about another fine. I really don't. And he's going faster than me now. You're breaking the law yourself, mate. Yeah, I'm just gonna bite the other fine. Yep, there it is. Another speeding fine. Right. That is okay. I mean, you can see I went from 100,000 when we first started the video to 107, nearly 108,000. So, although money won't be my overriding concern anymore when it comes to selecting jobs, it should be going to places I've never been to before. I do have to start driving a lot more in the UK as the home country of this particular save. I really should have as many of the UK cities as possible, and I don't actually have my city of birth. Liverpool's not one of the cities that I've got a garage in or have even visited. So actually, if at some point Liverpool is an option to drive to, no matter how short, then I will go there. Just because I want my home city. My home city, not the game's home city. So my home city in the game. Doing some mental gymnastics to make sure that I'm saying that correctly. I've got a horrible feeling we're about to fall through the road again. As we're going through Stockholm, and I'm an idiot. And I didn't put the hotfix on. Up 12,000, nearly. So from Bob B. Well done, Bob B. Yeah. Oh, please don't fall through the road. I can't be arsed. Come on, get over. Come on, move away. Move on, sunshine. Oh, some more money. Car less. Alright, so we've peeled off. And hopefully we will have avoided the hole in the road. And we won't come back to Stockholm until we've added that hotfix. But that was not funny. Not earning any money because there's or any XP particularly. Actually, more importantly, not earning any XP because there's a hole in the game. A poor piece of code. It's not very good, and I don't know who's responsible for it, but ProMods have put in a hotfix. That's just quite poor. Quite poor. Right, so we're going to be turning left at this... left? We're going to be turning right at this roundabout. There's nothing coming, so... And we're going straight on, so we can... We have been on this road before. I think we might have come on this road. We might have joined this road on our way into Stockholm. But we're off to a ferry port, so... let's get over. Let's just double check our... So we're 0-0. Right, so it should take us 32.5 hours to get where we're going. We've got 65 hours and 20 minutes to do it, and we need to sleep in about 8 hours. Alright, that's good. And I would imagine that we will get some of that time back on the ferry, because I think the ferry will be not an insignificant... Oh, actually, let's get back to the map. Mooring camp. Nine Asham. Oh, someone's got his lights on. I think that's supposed to be a Volvo, and if it is a Volvo, then that would explain why lights are shining at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It's because Scandinavian vehicles, particularly Volvo and Saab, are built to always have the side lights on, just because there are times in the year when it's just dark all the time. Right, so this is where we go. Actually, we should have gone all the way around, but I like the shortcuts, me. Right, let's get ourselves on that ferry. Right then, let's take the ferry. So, we are not going to Ventspils, are we? No, St. Petersburg. And... that's right, and then embark. Oh, I love it. So yeah, there we go, truck batteries, 41,000. So St. Petersburg has been discovered. Here we go. There's the Russian flag. Oh, there's a pickup point there. Oh, we discovered a recruitment agency. Oh, that is amazing. That is brilliant. A recruitment agency is fantastic. Just getting a recruitment agency is fantastic. It means more drivers. Obviously, you won't see them. Oh, hello. Off we go. Place for us to rest and a place for us to repair our truck in the port of St. Petersburg. So in this part of the journey, we're going to be relying heavily on our GPS, just because all of the road signs are now going to be in Cyrillic as opposed to the Latin alphabet. Which means that, yeah, I'm not going to be able to trust the road signs anymore. I have to rely on the GPS. But this is all new road. All new road. Alright. We're still okay for petrol. A118. Oh, I just love this truck. It's so powerful and smooth. It's just such a contrast to the horrible, nasty piece of metal that I drive in American Truck Simulator. It's just so massively underpowered. I need a new engine. That is going to be my priority in American Truck, is to replace the engine with something that can actually pull what I'm driving. But we're good. Alright, now let's cruise. 17 hours. We've got 10.5 before we've got to rest, so we did get a significant amount of sleep. 50.5 hours in which to deliver it, but it should only take us 17.75 hours. Oh, more money from Darren. Oh, by the way, our cash went up to 375,000. So yes, so that's good. I think 500 is the magic number for being able to buy, upgrade, and fully stock and fully recruit our garage. So as long as we make it to 500 beforehand, we should be all right. So we're in Russia. These are Russian roads. Lots of industry. Right. Oh no. We're not going to be swept. That's alright. We're just picking up a rest stop location as having visited, even though we haven't. So yes, there'll be a hot fix. It solves a number of issues, one of which is the hole in the road in Stockholm that thankfully we managed to avoid today. So this is the second time that we've gone into the RusMap, I believe. It looks pretty good. Gotta be honest, it looks pretty good. I'm quite impressed. Thank you very much to the people behind RusMap. Obviously, every time I've updated my ProMods map, I've ticked the little box saying yes, I am using RusMap. And when RusMap have updated, I have gone to this. I kind of wish that they had the same sort of thing as ProMods, in that I could give them a quid and not have to go to the dodgy website. I'm not 100% certain whether I'll bother with the hotfix. It depends on whether I have to completely reconfigure. Oh yeah, there's my speeding fine. I saw the police car in the background. But you know what? I'm going to speed away from you, buddy. Speed. I am way over the speed limit here. I believe that's meant to be a Renault Kadjar. Not 100% certain. Alright, now everybody's... Oh, 110 is the speed limit, so... I don't think I'll make it to 110. I think 90 is as high as I can get. Given that I can only get into 11th gear, not 12th. Oh, down to 90s. Oh no, back up to 110. It's weird. So, yeah, been a week for ETS2. It's been... where are we? Half a week since ATS, my last ATS journey. So, I'm back on schedule now for recording these things. What's happened in the world? Well, Liverpool Football Club have acquired the services of a chap. Oh, hello. was just double checking. Acquired the services of an Egyptian footballer called Mohamed Salah from an Italian team called Roma. That's a good start, especially after the unmitigated disaster of our attempt to tap up, apparently, I'm told, Virgil van Dijk from Southampton. Yet another Southampton player. Anfield. That still might happen because the player has made it clear that he would like to go to Liverpool. He would like to work at Anfield with Jurgen Klopp. There's been repeated claims that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Borussia Dortmund will come to Anfield, but apparently that one's been poo-pooed by anybody connected with Klopp and the club, primarily because they claim that Klopp doesn't like working with Aubameyang. That's a shame, because Aubameyang's brilliant. Mbappe was another. Mbappe from Monaco was another. Oh my God, yes! Oh my God, yes! Oh my God, yes! Please, let's hire him. Apparently, that's not going to happen because the player actually wants to go to Real Madrid. Got a feeling that might not be the best move in the world. Depends. I mean, he might get games, but I doubt it. I doubt it. He might be better off coming to Anfield. And there's also a player from RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig. It's Red Bull Leipzig. It's hilarious. As if I don't know. It's like MK Dons. Who the hell are they kidding? Oh, more money. We're up to 400,000. So another 100,000, which we should easily get during our next our next rest cycle. So we've got 15 hours to get there, 8.5 before we've got to rest, and 48 hours is how long we've got to get the stuff there. So yes, one more rest cycle, and we should be good. And if we do that when we're in single digits, we should be fine. But yeah, we've got 8.5 hours to do it, so. As long as we're under 11 hours. As long as we're sort of 9 or 10 hours when we do it, that should be perfect. That means we'll only have to do the one rest cycle. Oh yes, cool water. So it's still quite hot in the United Kingdom. The temperatures are still quite hot. I'm still shirt-sleeved, walking to the station to get to work. This is a good thing, although it is also quite an uncomfortable thing in the evening. It does make sleeping a bit more difficult, because I'm not used to it. I think people who are used to sleeping in hot weather have an easier time doing it, but I'm not, and so I don't. I'm not complaining, obviously, but there we go. It's still, still one of those things. It's not easy to deal with. It's not, still a little bit soon for a rest stop. But yes. So, hello, sorry. Go on. Still got to wrap my head around not drifting into the next lane. I don't know if you go back a couple of seconds and look at the white car that's just this second past us. I drifted into the lane as that car was pulling alongside us, and they hesitated, and it happens quite a bit. Because we need to go into this lane, because this lane is disappearing, which means that we're about to have to slow down. Oh, hello. Why did our frame rate just take a stutter? It's doing it again, it's stuttering. Why the hell? bit of space in front of us for a short period. Oh, some more money. We're over 400,000 now. So we definitely will be in a position to afford the garage, 5 trucks, the expansion and the recruitment of 5 drivers. I might be able to afford an extra truck and driver for another one of the garages that isn't full. Which is my new target, is to fill out all of the garages that I've acquired, but either not yet expanded or expanded and not yet not yet filled. Right, I think we're about. Yep, we discovered Valde. That's good. So we're really racking up this discoveries today. That's 2 already. And I'm just going to blast through that. Oh, speeding. I thought that was for the for blasting through the traffic light, but it wasn't. It was for speeding. We're about to pass a discoverable. What are we discovering? Oh, hello. A recruitment agency. Yay! Another recruitment agency. Spot on. Oh, hello. Oh, nice. That's 2 recruitment agencies. That should give us an extra boost to our driver selection when we recruit. That you won't see that, because I'll do that off camera, as it were. Don't you dare steer into me, buddy. Don't you dare steer into me. Good, 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 good. Excellent. Oh, hello. Cows. Horses, sorry. Eating grass in the field, moving. Fantastic. And then we've got a pleasure boat in, I think, is a lake. I wish they'd include the lakes in the GPS like they do in real GPSs. You get to see some significant topographical things like lakes. You get to see lakes in the map, and I think that would be useful. Moving pedestrians. They do look a bit robot-like, but yeah, they are moving. Don't recall ever having pedestrians when I was doing the keyboard road warrior. But there you go. So, by the time this particular video goes out, I think if you haven't watched the Azerbaijan, if you want to not know about the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, then I would skip forward about 10 minutes. Or I would mute me for 10 minutes, actually. Yeah, mute me for about 10 minutes. And I will make sure that I'm not talking about it in 10 minutes. So Azerbaijan is a city on the Caspian Sea, which is really a lake. It's in its capital city of Baku, and it's a race that sort of divides its time halfway between the old city around the castle and the new city. It's a street circuit. It wants to be a bit like Monaco. I mean, it is a little bit like Monaco in that it's part of it's by the lake, and it's through a historic old town, but it does go through new bits, and there's lots of sort of new square 90-degree corners to take into account the fact that let's do this. Actually, let's leave it on, just so we can see. Oh, look at the state of the road. Oh, blimey. Alright. 6 hours. Yeah, we're not under 11 hours yet, so we're not even going to consider stopping just yet. Vyshny Volchok. We've discovered Vyshny Volchok. I very much doubt Vyshny Volchok will have any discoverables for us to find. It does have a garage. We're not going to stop for it. That's it right there. We're not visiting Vyshny Volchok, so we're just passing through. There's a rest spot. Yeah, another speeding offence. I really don't care. We're at 451 now. So this is Vyshny Volchok. Look at the shadows in the folds of the curtains. It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Moving pedestrians. Like robots, moving very slowly. Right, I'm going to go through because I can't be arsed. Yeah, there's our red light offence, but there's just nothing coming. There's no point in us stopping. Oh, bad roads. Bad roads, and they need repairing. Oh, look at that hole. Oh, look at those holes in the road. Imagine falling into that. I'll actually stay on this side for a bit so that we can... Oh, God, look at this. This is awful. Right. Still not damaged the load yet. We're alright for fuel. Just under 6 hours before we have to rest, so we're doing alright. So, yes. Right, I've got to do this quickly. So, it was a mad race. Absolutely mad race. There were 3 safety cars. Lewis Hamilton was doing fantastically. And then in the final safety car period... Sebastian Vettel Ferrari was crawling right up the back of Hamilton's car, and Hamilton didn't speed up after the corner, which he's perfectly entitled to do. Vettel crashed into the back of him, did some minor damage to Hamilton's car, some minor damage to his own front wing. Vettel was so incensed that he drove alongside Hamilton and then turned into him, and they bashed wheels. Then there was so much minor debris all over the start-finish straight that they just red flagged the race. They had everyone come in. They stopped everything. Everyone got out, and I think it was at that point that they didn't fit Hamilton's headrest. There's like a little foam headrest thing that sits around him, so that if he's in an accident, his head bounces off these foam rests instead of the hard side of the car. That came loose when they restarted, so Hamilton had to come in and have that replaced. Vettel had to come in for a 10-second stop and go penalty for dangerous driving. Vettel insists he did nothing wrong. I don't know what planet he's living on, but every time I think I start to sympathise and I start to enjoy Vettel's driving, he returns to do douchebaggery. And I've given up on the guy's a douchebag. He's like a cartoon villain, and I can't stand him. I'm done with him. I'm done pretending that just because he's a good driver, that the terrible things he does, the bullying that he indulges in, the self-entitled petulance that he indulges in, is worth putting up with, because it's not. It's just not. That's as Lewis Hamilton quite. I mean, I don't often agree with Lewis Hamilton because he's a bit petulant himself. But but in turning into Lewis, he's told younger drivers in the lower formulas that that's an okay thing to do. A 4-time world champion has driven into a 3-time world champion on the road. On the circuit, and that has demonstrated to younger drivers that that's an okay thing to do. And okay, he got a 20-second, a 10-second. God, I keep calling it a 20-second, a 10-second stop and go penalty. But the problem is that still didn't stop him from overtaking Hamilton, because Hamilton had to stop to have his headrest replaced. Sorry, I needed to take a big slug of water. That meant I was weaving all over the place. What that meant to the result is, instead of Lewis winning, which he should have easily done, Daniel Ricciardo won, Valtteri Bottas came second, which is remarkable considering that Bottas had a crash at the beginning with Raikkonen, was 2 laps down and has managed to hold himself from 2 laps down at the back of the grid to second place. And he got that second place in the last sort of 5 meters of the circuit as he overtook Lance Stroll, who in his first season at 18 years of age is the youngest ever driver to sit on the podium, stand on the podium. So yes, it was a thoroughly entertaining race. I've really enjoyed it. I was gutted for Lewis, who should have won easily, but for that stupid headrest thing, he would have breezed it. He had the measure of Vettel all the way, and he was overtaken in the pits because of his headrest situation. Alright, we're under 11 hours, which means that we can start looking for a rest spot. Well, we got 4.5 hours, so I'll probably look for one when it's under 9 hours, just to give us some extra time, some play, some leeway when it comes to actually we've got bags of time, doesn't matter. But, actually it gives us some leeway when it comes to parking, because if it's going to take us 9 hours, we'll use 9 of our 11 hours, which means we'll have about 2 hours. It's about 11 hours. So we want a couple of hours to play with at the end, so I've got time to park, and then I've got time to okay, I don't know what that's all about. Let's stick our pedal to the metal. Oh, more money. We're a sniff from 470. The trouble is our rest cycle that we have to take is going to take us into night, and I loathe parking at night. I really do. Oh, look at that! That lake. Is that a lake or a river? I don't know. Whatever. I wish you could see what the hell it was. I think it's a river, actually. Oops. Whew, gosh, it's still hot. It's in real time, real world. As I sit here, it's nearly 9:30 in the evening. But it's actually it looks like dusk. It's sort of the light's just starting to go out of the sky. It's weird. So we need to start looking for a rest stop soon. Oh, Klin. We discovered a city called Klin. Let's get ourselves in first gear, ready. I wonder what the discoverable is that we're about to drive past. And are we about to discover it, or do we have to go down, or would we have had to have gone down a side road to get it? Yeah, I think we have to go down a side road to get at it. Yeah, no, we're not going to get that discoverable. But I'm pretty sure it was a... Oh, hello. So on the M10, so in the UK M would mean motorway, but I think this means something different. I love it now that we're regularly getting income from drivers. That's exactly as it should be. So, we've got 3.5 hours to find a rest stop. The next rest stop we see is the one that we're going to duck into. And that is why I'm probably not going to overtake this green car. Oh no, I am. Because he's super bleeding slow. And I just want to run free. We dropped from 110 to 60. Right, I do like, there's lots of these big tower blocks, and it reminds me of the scene where in I think it's the third, or the end of the second, beginning of the third Bourne movie, when he goes to visit the daughter of someone his parents he assassinated, that you see in the second Bourne movie, and he goes to apologise to her and say, no, it wasn't your mum that killed your dad, it was me. You shouldn't have to go through the rest of your life thinking that one of your parents murdered the other. Oh, hello. He walks through a load of these sort of large, ugly, huge tower blocks that are sort of got a larger footprint, so it's an even vaster number of people. Like there was a terrible fire a couple of weeks ago in the UK in a building called Grenfell Tower. And the Russian ones, slightly reminiscent of that, but they've put cladding on to make it look prettier, and even worse, it looks like 6 or 8 Grenfell towers sort of glued together, side by side, which is even more painful to deal with. It's just so hideous, soul destroying. I mean, it can't be much fun to live in something like that. Let's do a bit of corner cutting to straighten the road. Let's scrub some speed off because we are now needing to find a rest stop. I do this every time. I try and cut the margins and I end up... Oh, Bartos M, you're letting the side down. How much have you cost me? £747. Well, it could have been worse. It could have been 4 figures instead of 3. Right, are we getting onto a motorway? We we might be getting onto a motorway. Over the grass. I don't like doing that. You run the risk of damaging the load. Oh! Good. No damage to the load. Just my tractor. God, that's narrow. There is There we go. Right, let's put some speed on. Now that we got him to stop, that's good. We can pull out. Oh, come on. I dipped the clutch all the way. Come on. Oh, there's a rest stop. Oh, excuse me, I'm sneezing. That's why my head's violently moving. It's because I'm sneezing. I could do with putting some fuel in as well, so let's do that as well. Right, so engine off, and it's 39 pence. Oh wow, that is cheap. 39 pence a litre. That's fantastic. Oh, so that's 325.5 litres, which cost us £129. Where are we? Parking brake on, engine off, let's get some rest. Sadly that takes us to 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's 686, look at that. Look how much money we've got. Become all capitalist and everything with parking brake is on. Come on, I'm dipping the clutch. What's the matter with your game? So, 7 hours, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so yeah, we should be in daylight for the parking. That's good. We should be in daylight for the parking. Oh, come on, another one that couldn't find any work. Are you kidding me? Look at that, we're at nearly 700. This is good news. Oh, that sneezing has loosened a load of speeding. That's fine. Although I do now have to slow down because that's the police car directly ahead of us, and if we keep speeding then he just keeps issuing fines to us, which is irritating. Oh, 15 grand, thanks Corey T. And he's leveled up. I do like seeing those oh, we can do 110 now. I do like seeing those interesting overhead road signs. That's quite, yeah, I quite like that. That's good. Oops, sorry. Scratching my neck. I'm getting all itchy. So we've definitely driven the hell out of Russia. Definitely driven the bejesus out of Russia, which is good. Oh, Gertruda has leveled up. Oh, this is fantastic. The Empire is growing. Okay, we've got a right turn coming up here. So are we starting? Are we going to... I would say, are we going to start seeing signs for our destination? But I wouldn't know, because I can't read Cyrillic. I can't read Russian. And I can't sort of guess at it. So we've got 10 hours to do this. Sorry, we've got 10 hours before we've got to rest. That's not going to be an issue anymore. It's going to be less than 6 hours to get there, so we've got 4 hours to play with. I would imagine that we'll probably have 5 by the time we get to our destination, which is Tambov. Excuse the sniffing, my apologies there. All the sneezing has loosened the stuff in my nose. And so now I'll be dribbling and sniffing for the next sort of hour, which is deeply unpleasant, and you didn't need to know about it. I do apologise. You really didn't need to hear about that. Okay. I am expecting a call, not too distant future, from the missus. So, it's not happened yet. We're all good. Oh, hello. That was a bit urgent. Oh, look at the smoke coming from that stack. That's kind of, and if it was a real world stack, that would be kind of horrifying, but in the game it's kind of beautiful. Oh, the problem with being hot, and then is you sweat, and then that sweat sits, and it makes you itchy. And then you want to scratch stuff, and I'm kind of wedged in under my desk because of the bolts for the steering wheel and the bolts for the gear, the shifter. I can't really get at my knees without sort of shifting in my seat, and I can't shift in my seat really because, oh god, I'm going to keep driving on the rumble strips. That's not good either. I don't want to. Yeah, right. So we're getting off here. This looks like it might require a gear change. Okay. So we're doing alright in this journey. I mean, so far we've been lucky. We've only had the one incident, which is the rubbing up in the guardrail when we went from an A road to a motorway, which was unpleasant. And it does kind of happen to me a bit on those kind of narrow, sort of windy slip roads. Alright, so... Oops, sorry. I was rearranging my shirt because it's uncomfortable. There we go. I found, and as I've got older, my skin is less tolerant of things like wrinkles in my shirt, the back of my shirt when I'm sitting in a chair, or wrinkles in my pajamas on my legs when I'm asleep in bed. I just find everything is much more uncomfortable. Oh crap! Never talk about how well you're doing, because it jinxes you. And if a vehicle ahead of you suddenly starts slowing There's a dim reason. It's either because there's a change of speed or because they're turning. Ooh. Oh well. Oh, that's irritating. We were on for an excellent there. Kind of annoyed now. Never mind. Sky's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful blues and oranges. Oh, hello. What the hell? That frame rate dipped into the 20s there for a second. What the hell? Oh, look at that! Look at that on the right hand side. That's quite cool. That's bizarre. Did you see the gap in the red line? What the hell's that about? Just a missing bit of the route for some reason. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Kudos. SCS. Kudos. That is beautiful. I almost want to flip down a sun visor. Almost want to flip down a sun visor. Oh, look at the sunflowers. Sunflowers as far as the eye can see on the right hand side. That's incredible. Oh, and a guard tower. Looks like a POW guard tower. Prisoner of war camp guard tower. Like Colditz. Well, not Colditz. Be careful what you say. Stalag 13. Let's use a fictional film. POW camp. Oh, sugar. Nearly did it again. Just ignored my own bleeding advice. If they suddenly slow down, it's for a reason. And it's because the speed changed from 110 to 60. And I nearly ploughed head on into a car. So upsetting. Look at the state of this road. It's okay, so the buddling you heard was my microphone. ceasing to work. I had a feeling that at some point during the journey something had happened, but I didn't realise that I'd lost the narration, and that's what's happened. The microphone just stopped recording, which is bloody irritating. But yeah, we move on. I think I knew something was funny because I record an Audacity version of my audio in addition to the audio that's captured with the game footage, just in case something goes wrong with the audio from the game footage. And I recorded this on the 26th of June, and then the day after, on the 27th of June, imported all the footage, set about editing, did the front end of the video, nipped and tucked everything, put in the episode-specific panels, and then I pushed to the end of the video, and there's no narration. I can't hear my voice saying, until I see you in the next video, I'll see you on the road. So I kept going back in 5-minute increments until I found the last bit of narration, which is when I'm talking a minute ago about the state of the road. So that's happened. We're all right though. I can record this. It's a shame actually, because the Audacity would have been useful. I wouldn't have had to have done this narration. I could have dropped the normal audio in, but because the microphone went, it just automatically shut down the Audacity recording as well. So that's irritating. But anyway, we're all good. We're all good. We are quite near Tambov, which is our final destination in Russia. We will just try and find a way. I think I try and find a way past this. Well, in fact, I know I try and find a way past this FLE truck, because I've watched it 5 times. Well, 3 or 4 times. This is going to be the 5th time I've watched myself overtake this FLE truck. So yes, it's the 4th of July now, a week later, because I've been too busy to actually get it done. 27th was my only real opportunity to do it. I didn't get it done. That happened, and so that's why there's been a week gap between recording this and it going up. Normally there's only about 4 or 5 days. That sounds stupid, but this is what, 8 days. 8 days. I think it's 8 days. Normally I record it on the. There we go. We're passing the FLE truck. Normally I record the European truck on a Monday. I will try and edit it on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and then try and upload it on the Wednesday or the Thursday. So you're talking 3 or 4 days. Sometimes I don't get it done until Friday or Saturday. I've never made any promises about when to get these things up and running, because I know I can't keep to them. I've got a job that comes before everything, unfortunately. Super important job that comes before. Oh my God, that sounds incredibly pompous. Well, what I mean is my function is relatively important. I'm not important, but the function that me and my team provide is quite important. And if it's not done, the people for whom that function is necessary can't perform their function. It's only important in that it's necessary to be done for other people to do much more important things. So I de-pompous myself there. I hope I de-pompous myself. Anyway, so today's the 4th of July in the United Kingdom. So happy Colonial Uprising Day to all our American friends. Sorry, happy 4th of July, Independence Day. God, I really did not sound like I meant that, did I? Honestly, I did. I promise you I did. So this journey's actually, this is the irritating part of this, is the audio for my narration carked quite near the end of the journey, which is not incredibly helpful, but there you go. So hopefully this audio will sit in the right place and will perform almost as well as my real-time narration would have. Look at those incredible sunflowers on the right there. That is a beautiful sight, an absolutely beautiful sight. All those beautiful yellow sunflowers making seeds and oil. I wonder if that is was an accident back there. There's two cars side by side. I wonder. Anyway. Oh, do you know what? I can hear... I've got... My headphones are on the box next to the computer, and I can hear the noise coming from them, which is incredibly distracting. Unfortunately, I still have yet to solve the issue of my my headphones delivering my spoken audio out of sync, which is annoying, to say the least. The audio setup for this is a thing that I am absolutely going to sort out, but it's just not going to be this year. I simply can't afford it. We've got too many things to spend our money on in the next 6 months, and me having a mixer board and a proper microphone and proper cables just aren't one of them. So this is our final destination. God, look at the state of the road. I tell you what, one of the wonderful things about this part of the map, they really did the roads justice. They are an absolute mess, those roads. So I'm going to pick where do you need it, because I need those extra XP points, primarily because I arsed up and I banged into a car. And let's hope that this audio works as well as my parking does. Spoilers, but I think I do. Well, I know I do pretty well with this parking job. I'm not going to get excited and say, yeah, I think I finally got parking sussed. I don't think it's because I got parking sussed. I just think it's because I got lucky. I managed to stop it at the right point, and I managed to not completely arse up my reversing too much. But yes, it's a shame, because this would have been some good points and it would have been some good money, but we lost some. Actually, we didn't lose that much money. In fairness, we didn't lose that much money. But yeah, we did lose some, and we lost some XP, and we needed the 40 XP for the parking to sort it out. So here we go. So good work, which is the best we could have hoped for. We drove truck batteries from Gävle to Tambov. We drove 1,368 kilometers. It took us 40 hours and 38 minutes, and we drove we used 475 liters of fuel, for which we got a base reward of 1,368. We've got a base reward of £26,509 and 1,368 XP. We've got a proficiency bonus for level 29 of £11,531, a long distance delivery bonus for skill rank 5 of £3,714 and 342 XP, and a bonus for parking the trailer of a grand total of 40 XP, which we needed because we incurred a damage penalty of 1.9%, which cost us £3,158 and 141 XP. This left us with a grand total of £38,596 and 1,609 XP, which means we're still a level 29 instructor, but we did take a chunk out of level 30, and all of which means that the G27 Road Warrior now has a lifetime experience of 98,021 XP, and we're still aiming at that magic 99,700 XP to be a level 30. I don't know whether it's an instructor or not. I think it might be something different. Anyway, as I always say at this juncture, thank you very much for watching this video with me. Thank you very much for riding shotgun. If you liked this video, then please click that thumbs up button. If you want to see more of these videos, then click that subscribe button. If you want to be alerted to when one of my videos goes up live, then click the little bell next to the subscription, and you'll get a notification whenever one of my videos goes live. If you know anybody you think might like these videos, then if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can tell them about it. And whether you watched a minute or whether you watched the whole thing, thank you very much for coming with me on this journey. And, as always, until I see you in the next video, I'll see you on the road.